This is activity 13.2, congruent ovals. And so we've been working with mostly, if not exclusively, images that have straight sides. And it doesn't have to be the case. You can have congruent images that are ovals, that are any other kind of shapes you can imagine. So the issue is, how do you show that they're congruent? What do you look at? How do you figure that out? So in this case, there are 4 ovals. 2 of the ovals are congruent to each other, and the other 2 ovals are congruent to each other. So there's 2 different sets of ovals. So how do you figure out which is which? And what I chose to do is I drew a rectangle around this oval, because it's just easier for me to see, to look at the length as being 3 units and the width as being 2 units. And then I looked to see which other ovals match that. So this oval matches it. It's just rotated 90 degrees. And so if you look at the line that runs through the middle, that's the length, that's the long ways. It runs 3 units, 1, 2, 3. In this case, it's the same 3 units, 1, 2, 3. Then if you look at the shorter side, which is the width, it's 2 units. In this case, the shorter side is 2 units. So these 2 ovals are congruent. They match. Actually, they're 90-degree rotations. The third oval, this one does not match. Notice the same rectangle has a larger area than the oval. And if you look at this line in the middle, it's 1 unit, 2 units, and a half. So it's 2.5 units. And also the line that's the width is 2 units, just like up here. But notice it's at a different spot. It's a different place. So midway between is moved over a little bit. It's not in the middle. It doesn't run right down the middle of the 2 squares of the squares, but it's moved over it's moved over a little bit. And so this oval matches that. So I used blue rectangles, and so this oval is 1, 2.5 units along the long side, or the long edge, the long diagonal, I guess you'd call it. And this oval running this way, this diagonal running this way, again has been moved over. It's not right down the middle of these squares, but it's moved over off the middle to the side. So these 2 are congruent. These 2 are congruent. But the red ovals are not congruent to the blue ovals. So how do you figure out whether ovals are congruent or not? You have to look at lines that run through the middle in each direction. That's one way to do that. And the authors don't tell you to, but I found it easier if I drew the rectangles around the ovals like that. Lesson 13.2, Activity 2.